Hi guys, this is the second one for this week. It's nice to be with you. Many of you it'll be Tuesday, some of you it'll be Monday, and right now for me it's Thursday, the week before. It doesn't really matter. You can watch this whenever. So we're going to stay in section 20 for the moment, and we're going to go to verse 69. Yes, this is one of those really long sections, but it's alright because the next two are fairly short and quite simple to get through. So anyway. This is a lot of good stuff. This includes the sacrament prayers too, and they are covered in this week's Come Follow Me study with some questions around that. We're not really highlighting on that because you can do that yourself. That's one you can do yourself. And it's a good highlight. Like, read through those. Have a read. That's what it says in the Come Follow Me manual. My husband and I did that last night. It was really good to think about that and have that discussion. Just briefly, like I said, one of the questions is, when you heard the prayer for the first time, I was like, well, I grew up in the church. I don't have any point of reference for that. I don't know what that would have felt like. I know the sacrament prayers. He said, I'll go and then say them. And I said it, and I was like, ooh, not bad. I think I got a couple of words wrong. And that was from complete memory, nothing in front of me, because I have been listening to it consistently most weeks, and some weeks not, but most weeks for my entire life. So I should know it. But there are times where it's sunk in when I haven't really thought about it, like differently. I think it's differently. I'll go in and I'll go to sacrament and something in that prayer will hit me differently than just words being said. But I asked him about, because he's a convert and he was in his 20s, early 20s when he was converted and baptised, and I said, what did it mean for you? He said, well, I really can't remember it for the first time either, but he said the same thing. At some point it sort of sunk in and had more meaning. So maybe look around that this week with your family. Have that discussion. In the Come Follow Me manual, I think it's the third point or something. But have a look. It's really good. But we're going to go to verse 69 of section 20. And it says, and the members shall manifest before the church and also before the elders by a godly walk and conversation, that they are worthy of it, that there may be works and faith agreeable to the Holy Scriptures, walking in holiness before the Lord. So what does it mean to walk godly? Is that like a literally walk like God walks? Because we don't know what that looks like. It's a good question, right? So the verse before it is laying out the duties for the members. And this is after they're baptised. So for most of the audience that watches that, that's us. Members after they've been baptised, no matter at what point they are, what callings they have or anything like that, just members after being baptised. Now I know that's not all of my audience, but it's most of it. For those of you that are not in the being baptised category, here's a good way for you to see why we maybe look and try and behave like we do. And obviously we're going to fail and muck up and repent and carry on and correct that. So maybe it might help you understand the process a little. So to walk godly, it's saying that all members shall manifest before the church. So this is openly and in front of everybody without like being proud and look at me. But it's about turning up, being present and looking like you're actually making an effort, showing that you're making an effort, not just talking about it or hinting about it. Like on Sundays when you go to church, or if you're on in lockdown somewhere and they've got like a group page and they ask for volunteers and you're like, well, I could, but I'm not gonna. So that's not walking godly. Anyway, it's of course your decision, but that's what it is. So yeah, to show by word and deed, that's what I've put down here, that we are trying to be Christ-like. And we can still look like us. I wanted to touch on this, kind of went to appearances, because you shouldn't be judging anyone on appearances, and I know there's a lot of my friends on Insta lately that have stopped using filters and stopped putting on like, oh, I haven't done my hair or whatever. It's just like, look, we're all real. I'm real here. This is me. That's what I look like. It's probably a really good day, actually. Most days worse than this. And I don't care. I'm in my t-shirt and got my Adidas on. I don't need to be all churchy to sit here and talk about church. And that's the thing, like that churchy look that's ingrained in us that has to be Sunday best. And it has already always bugged me for years. Because not everyone can afford clothes. Not everyone has that kind of fashion sense. Not everyone's in that situation to dress how you think they should be dressed. And really, it's what feels good to them and their best. So if that's their best and they're happy with it, that's enough. And I think our ward that I attend to, is really good at that. We really don't. I don't see anybody doing anything like that. Not even our youth. Maybe a little, but I don't see it. And I'm really grateful for that. But I have felt it in other wards. I felt it in one of the wards we went to in America. Just the, not only were you foreigners in a strange land, but are like, oh, you don't fit in here. And it's like, well, I'm just me. Do I look too goth for you? Because I kind of am. I've got, I like this kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, Sunday best is relative. To the situation, to your taste, to everything. And culturally too. It's relative. Too much is just as damaging as little or no effort. So if you're putting in too much effort, that stresses you out. If you put in little or no effort, then you're not growing and learning anything. Personal appearance is judged now more than ever, even when it's just little. Subtle, even when it's subtle. So don't compare, just do you and make you the best you. So don't compare you to anyone. Don't look at someone else and try and make them into another you. Oh, they shouldn't be wearing that to church. Said who? Like, really, said who? Think about that. It gets on me. You can tell it grinds on me, right? I've been to church in some places in my best jeans and best t-shirt because that's all I had at the time. And I wouldn't do that at home. I'd wear a skirt or a dress because that's what I like to wear to church, because that's my best. But if somebody turns up in jeans and that's their best, great. Have them in, hug them, love them, because that's what it is. So walking godly is to be trying to be like Jesus, basically. But doing it so people can see it. So you're that, light on the light that's lit, showing to the world. Got it. Okay. Anyway, Brigham Young said, you ought not to teach even the alphabet or the multiplication tables without the Spirit of God. So to walk godly, again, is being Christ-like, but walking with the Spirit of God. Because if you're walking with the Spirit of God and you're really focused on that, all the things that are not meant for you simply fall away. You don't have to put effort into how to get rid of them. They just kind of drop off. And it's quite remarkable when you see that. So, it happens. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. You can see that the dress standards can grind on me because, you can keep dress standards, but it's really no one's opinion what you're going to wear. You wear what you're going to wear. What you feel good in, what's right for you, what makes you happy, what you'd be happy to meet the Lord in. That's what you wear. Okay? Got it. Right. I'm going to do the third one. And, see you in a bit.